Alrighty, it says we're live, so I'm going to take its word for it. Welcome to a live stream here at Buckeye Recovery Network. My name is Param. I have a master's degree in marriage and family therapy. I'm licensed as an advanced alcohol and drug counselor, and I am very looking forward to the next, 10, 15, 20 minutes with you. And I'm going to tell you what we're doing here today. And we're going to be doing a live stream on the 7 diseases of attitude. Now, these are things that can start off typically with a small little infection. And if left untreated, they could turn into a full-blown disease that impact the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul. So these 7 diseases of attitude are the following. And by the way, if you're here because you're a person going through the recovery process, or you have a loved one and a family member who's going through the process, my hope is that you find some value from the content that I'm going to share. And let's get right into it. So the first disease of attitude is the disease of indifference. It's kind of like the shrug of the shoulders. Hey, where do you want to go today? I don't care. What do you want to eat today? I don't know. How do you want to spend the rest of the today? It doesn't matter. Whenever you have the shrug of the shoulders, it is a disease of attitude. Because, my friends, I'll tell you this, that if you don't care about your life, outside of a few people who might share the same last name with you, not that many people will. So you have to be fully invested and engaged in the life that you have. We can't be indifferent. The next disease we have is a disease of indecision. And it's a form of mental paralysis. It's when you can't make a decision either way. Do I go left? Do I go right? It's kind of like going in the subway and you know exactly what you like and don't like, what you hate and love. And as soon as they ask you, what do you want to eat today? You say, being indecisive. And by the way, the word decide from indecision is very powerful. If you look at the word decide, it ends with C-I-D-E. What other words in the English language end with C-I-D-E? Well, we have homicide, pesticide, suicide, genocide. Homicide means to kill off another person. Pesticide, bugs and insects and rodents. Genocide, a group of people. Suicide, to kill off self. When we make a decision and decide, we kill off the other options. And when we do that, we are in the most powerful sense of self. When you decide I'm going to go left instead of right, we have a power to create our destiny. The next disease of attitude we have is the disease of doubt. And the worst kind is self-doubt. Because, my friends, we are not born with doubt. When a child is born, he or she or they believe they could do anything in life. But all of a sudden, what happens is these voices in our head, these voices by the people around us, these voices by society start to tell you, you can't do that. You won't succeed. You're not going to be able to follow through with what that hope and dream and goal is for yourself. And it starts to creep in and we start to doubt that stuff. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe I'm not blank enough. And that doubt is something that seriously takes us over. The next disease of attitude that we have is a disease of worrying all the time, being a warrior, not a warrior, a worrier. It's someone that has a inability to be in the present moment, constantly worried about things that are going to happen in the future. And there's something called psychosomatic illness, which means the mind-body illness. When we're constantly afraid and in fear and worried about what's going to happen to us in the future, we're unable to live powerfully, proactively in the present moment. The next disease of attitude we have is the disease of overcaution. Overcaution is just as dangerous as being reckless. We all know that being reckless is bad in life. But how about when we're too cautious in life, when we play it too safe? I learned this lesson volunteering and interning at a place called Country Villa in Lake Forest, California. And it was a hospice care. And at the end of my shifts and the end of my rounds, I would go to the rooms of these residents and I would ask them, hey, I'm about to be a therapist in this world. What's some information, what's some nuggets, some words of wisdom you have for me? And I'm telling you this, that almost all of them said the same things in common. They would say, I wish I wouldn't have played life so safe. I wish I would have taken that job. I wish I would have moved. I wish I would have followed my heart and pursued that person. They had these regrets because they played life so overly cautious. The next disease of attitude we have is the disease of pessimism. And pessimism, we always talk about the cup being half full or half empty. It's too basic of a thing. For me, the disease of pessimism looks like this. Imagine you and I are sitting in this beautiful home in Malibu, California, overlooking the majestic Pacific Ocean. And And we're looking through a glass at the ocean, and you can see the waves and the sun, and you can see how overwhelmingly beautiful and powerful it is. And all of a sudden, someone comes in the room and says, "Hey, what are you guys looking at?" We're like, "Man, just take a look at this ocean. It looks so, it's breathtaking." And they say, "Yeah, yeah." And they walk all the way up to the front of the glass, and they go like this. And they say, but what's that dirt on the window?" That's the disease of pessimism. It overlooks the big picture in life and focuses and hyper focuses on the negative. And the last disease we have is the disease of complaining. I mean, this one's going to kill you. Complaining is one of those things that drains our vitality, drains our creativity, drains our power in the moment. And it gives it away to other people and other things. It takes away our sense of responsibility in life. It disengages us and disallows us to achieve our goals. When we complain, we give away our power. And by the way, you know what's the funniest thing with people that complain is, like, we all know what Yelp is, right? You can go on Yelp and look at someone that complained about a business, and sometimes they could be right. It could just been a bad experience. But then you can click on their name and go see all the other reviews that they've left, and it's like, this dog washing place I went to was the worst dog washing place I've been to. This restaurant I went to was the worst restaurant I went to. This UPS store I went was the worst UPS store I went to. This tutoring service that I got for my kid was the worst tutoring service I got for my kid. You know what I mean? They just complain about everything, and how you do anything is how you do everything. So, my friends, if you are complaining all the time, I'm not going to say it's wrong, but here's the key to complaining. After you have done complaining, you must seek and find a solution for what it is you're complaining for. So, in conclusion, the 7 diseases of attitude are the disease of indifference, the disease of indecision, the disease of doubt, the disease of worry, the disease of overcaution, the disease of pessimism, and the disease of complaining. If you found some value in this talk, please like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff people do on social media. I'm not too versed with it, but I know it helps us grow our channel and get us content in front of more eyeballs. So, all that being said, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found some value in this. Until next time, adios.